WandaVision episode 4 is almost here, and the word on the street is this will be a turning point for the show and possibly reveal a lot of what is actually going on in Westview in WandaVision. Let's break it down. What's up, everybody? It's Josh. Welcome back to the channel. Smash that like button, and I want to remind you that a large part of what we are doing as the Den of Nerds moving forward is happening over on our live streaming channel. Go check it out. It's really cool. Now, first up, before we get into all the stuff about episode 4, I actually wanted to briefly talk about episode 3, but there is a reason why, and I think you will understand as I move forward. But I found it really interesting after episode 3 that a lot of fans of the show thought that episode was a turning point, that they thought the third episode was really, really good, very impactful, and I noticed that like a lot of more normie fans or sort of more casual Marvel fans really loved episode 3, while many of the more hardcore people were like, it's a good episode, but I don't really see how it's that much better leaps and bounds above episodes 1 and 2. And I looked at the episode again, and I frankly think this is because the show got really, really weird in episode 3, but it got weird in ways that a lot of the more hardcore fans had already noticed it being weird in the first 2 episodes. And you know, let's just be real, there's like really sweaty Marvel fans that kind of know more or less how the show is going to go. And so for us, we're sort of just watching it play out the way we think it will, or the way we hope it will, or the way it does. And then we're sort of just doing calculus. We're sitting there with our notepads like, oh, so this means this and that means that. And we're not as in it as some of the other more casual fans. And I think for the casual fans, episode 3 really showed where the show is going. It turned things on its head, and it revealed some really dark secrets that are likely to be very impactful for all of the characters in the Marvel Universe moving forward. And so now let's talk about episode 4, because the word out there is that this is going to be a turning point episode. I've heard a lot of different actors, insiders, and different people just sort of espouse this belief that this is going to be a turning point episode. Now, I brought up the episode 3 phenomenon because I think this might happen again with episode 4.
You read my mind.
I think for more casual people, episode 4 might be a completely mind-blowing, ridiculous episode and recontextualize the whole show for them. But I think for some of us on the more hardcore side, I don't know if we will be as taken and as enthralled as some of the more casual fans. And so I think after episode 4, and I could be wrong, but my anticipation is we'll be in the same boat where, you know, hardcore fans are like, oh, no, I love the show, but that wasn't like that wasn't it. That wasn't the mind-blowing moment. And you might have the more casual people being like, dude, episode 4, though? Holy cow. Which, by the way, is totally cool, but we just try to, like, kind of set expectations over here. So for my more hardcore people, I think that's maybe what to expect. And for the more casual people, I think you might actually, like, love this one, and this one might really blow you away. Now, when it comes to that buzz and the speculation around episode 4, a lot of this is revolving around an apparent shift, perhaps in perspective, or something going on in the story that's very, very different. Right now, what most people think this is referring to is the fact that this episode may not actually take place fully in the WandaVision show or bubble reality of Westview, but may actually have some parts of it that take place outside of the bubble, like the very end of episode 3. In fact, some people think we may just follow the character of Monica Rambeau and her experience outside of the bubble as she tries to remember who she really is, and we get more of an idea of what's going on inside the bubble. Some people think that this might be an episode that is from the perspective of S.W.O.R.D. and might even take place during a time period before the events of episodes 1, 2, and 3, when perhaps even Wanda was helping S.W.O.R.D. out. And I guess this really just kind of begs the question, like, will there be any Wanda in this episode? Will we see the WandaVision show that's inside the bubble in Westview? Will that be seen in this episode of the show? Which I'm now realizing is so crazy. Like, we're asking if we're going to see WandaVision in the WandaVision show. It's crazy. What is life?
What was that?
Now, if we do see some stuff from inside the WandaVision show of Wanda's bubble reality, the question naturally will become, well, what about Pietro? What about her brother? And what about the children? When we last leave the inside the bubble, the children are born, right? And She's talking about her brother. We strongly feel that Quicksilver, in one form or another, will be in WandaVision. And so, if there is some of Wanda's bubble reality in episode 4, will we see Pietro? And there's obviously a big rumor here, and, you know, spoiler, I guess, if you don't want any of this rumor stuff. But the big rumor is that Evan Peters, who played Quicksilver in the Fox X-Men universe, he will be the one that shows up in Wanda's reality as Quicksilver. So interesting, and possibly has implications that are crazy for the MCU as well. Now, here's where it gets really, really interesting. If indeed we do get some perspective from outside of the bubble, will that part of the show sort of set up the stuff that then we'll get with Evan Peters as Quicksilver if he shows up? Like, will the conversations with Sword and Monica and all the other agents set up more of what's actually going on in the bubble? I think that's really what all the fans want to know. It's like, are we going to get some answers about the bubble? Well, I think it seems like a total Feige thing to do, to have an episode like this, sort of set up Sword, set some stuff up outside of the bubble, and then have some weirdness come in at the end of the episode. So I'm going to go on record and predict that we will get Evan Peters as Quicksilver, but it'll happen at the end of this episode, and then it'll be really explored moving forward in the series. Of course, there are so many other questions. What's going on with Agnes? What's going on with Herb? All of the people of Westview, are they actually dead? Are they not dead? And then, of course, there's all the stuff with the Grim Reaper, with the character of Simon Williams, aka Wonder Man, who we think is going to be in the show as well. And then there's stuff with Mephisto, of course, and Grim Reaper, right? What is going on with all of these Marvel characters? How is this going to play out, and what exactly is going on in Westview? And I've seen a ton of articles and a ton of speculation out there about Mephisto. And Mephisto is such a cool Marvel villain. I truly hope that that is the way they are going with it. Right now, to the best of my knowledge, it feels like it's going to be maybe Nightmare, Grim Reaper, and Mephisto, or some combination of those characters. I'm not fully sure. Different scoopers and insiders are saying different things. But for me, as a big Marvel fan, like, Mephisto's dope. Really hope it's like actual Mephisto. And then again, ladies and gentlemen, when it comes to the twins, and this is something I've talked to you about since our very first preview video, is that it would appear that the creation of the twins, and that particularly the creation of Billy, the creation of Wiccan, is important to whatever nefarious things are happening here. It really seems like that is going on, and there are some crazy Avengers stories in which the children of Wanda, and particularly Wiccan, have a massive battle with Mephisto that has big implications. I say all of this to say that I think we should really pay attention anytime any of the characters are discussing the children, and we should be looking for little clues and things that are going on. I mean, last episode with the butterflies manifesting and then the stork manifesting, we wonder, is that Wiccan? Is that Wiccan, or is that Mephisto? And I think really important to this question is, why was Wanda unable to use her ability to warp reality on the manifested objects of the butterfly and of the stork, particularly the stork, right? Is that Mephisto? What does it mean? Okay, so the last thing I really want to get into is the fact that as Marvel fans, I think we really need to start paying attention to what these little Easter eggs are actually going to manifest and mean. I personally think crazy things are happening. And again, remember, this show is said to break open the multiverse of madness and set in motion a ton of things that are going to affect the MCU going forward, right? I mean, we hear Doctor Strange is going to be in the later episodes. There could be all sorts of crazy stuff going on. And so there's questions about, like, is Ultron being brought back? Is what Vision is doing at work actually trying to really bring Vision back to life? What is exactly happening with these different characters? And as Marvel fans, I think we are going to slowly start to get some of those answers, and I expect some of them to manifest around episode 4, maybe around the children, or maybe around the sword stuff, or potentially even around the Evan Peters Quicksilver stuff, right? Who knows exactly? But that is definitely something that I think is on the table for episode 4. It's happened in all the other ones, and we'll be breaking that down. As per usual, we do our watch party, then we go into our stream with the spoilers Friday morning right after watching the episode. So make sure you check that out again over on the live streaming channel. And other than that, let us know what you think about all this crazy WandaVision stuff and what you think will go down in episode 4 in the comments section below. Like the video, subscribe to this channel, check out the live streaming channel. And as I always say, I hope you are having an awesome and a nerdy day, and I'll see you in the next video.